My wife cheated on me. We're going through the divorce process and live in the same house. She is gaslighting the hell out of me. I feel like staying under the same roof is horrible for my mental health. Plus update. Original post. As the title suggests, my wife cheated on me multiple times throughout the course of the last few months. I had a sneaking suspicion pretty much immediately when the affair started. However, she was so convincing when I talked with her. I was never vindictive or overly confrontational when I brought it up. But man, when I did, she'd flip the script on me like I'm some kind of bad guy for trying to discuss our relationship and questioning her integrity. Anyways, I found out. She was constantly on her phone, and one night I did what I had to do and read her text messages. I confronted her the next morning about the affair, and she lied. I confronted her again, this time telling her I have seen her text messages, and she lied again. Finally, I had to literally recite some of the messages I read, and she just fell silent. Her response to all of this was not to apologize, but instead she told me if didn't push her to that point, she never would have done it. I know I'm an anonymous stranger on the internet, but guys, when I tell you I have never in my life done anything to my wife that would make her cheat, I'm not kidding. I've never been physical with her, never yelled at her, never really done anything that would make me question my own integrity. Truly, I'm not perfect, but I honestly have been a good husband to her. Well now, living with her has been hell. She is telling anyone and everyone we know that I have emotionally mistreated her. Even after finding out I have never been mean, yelled, etc. I've told her I'm heartbroken and we're definitely getting a divorce, but honestly, that's where it starts and ends. Every little word that comes out of my mouth, she twists like I'm some kind of bad guy. She claims I'm gaslighting her, which is crazy because she is gaslighting me. She's always mean and confrontational when I see her, and honestly, I don't really say anything because I just know it'll be taken the wrong way or twisted in a way I didn't intend, and she'll start an argument. What do I do? Why is she being so horrible? Shouldn't I be the one mad at her? Honestly, I just want to coast out this divorce process and move on, but she is so overly combative it's making a cordial divorce very, very difficult. At first, her gaslighting was getting to me. I was questioning myself hard, but I've had some time to step back and think rationally, and what she is claiming simply is not true. Someone help a brother out because I'm struggling. Now for the top advice before reading the update. Hey OP, feel free to take a look at my post history. I feel some similarities in my experience versus yours. Ignore her, do the 180 or gray rock. It drives people like your soon-to-be ex nuts. Don't give her any emotional fuel to work off of, and just treat her like a ghost. Get a reputable family law attorney and go from there. Good luck. I will certainly check it out. Appreciate you. Learn the value of gray rock and the 180 methods. Return her level of energy, but have other coping mechanisms when she's not around. Find ways to release emotional energy while not around her. Don't waste any more energy in a conversation with her. Start planning how and when you can move. Remove all mutual friends that don't support you from your life. Focus fresh and with healthier people. Just Googled gray rocking, and that was super helpful, thank you. I have definitely inadvertently been practicing some of these methods in response to this, but this gives me something to be mindful about. I don't think my wife is a full-on psychopath or anything, but understanding how I can disengage from confrontation in someone who is looking for it is helpful. Make sure you make a summary list with evidence, and ask your lawyer if you can send it out to people that y'all know. Make sure you expose her contradictions and the deceptions that you can disprove in this list too. No one wants to be the villain in their own story. So that she can live with herself, she needs to make you the villain. Don't let her do this. Expose her to everyone. Don't let her be the official historian on your marital story. This is true. Gonna sound a little crazy, but to some capacity, I feel like me continuing to be cordial and mature about this is what's getting her so combative. My reaction isn't quite aligning with her story, and that is causing her to lash out at me. If what I just said is true, that's her burden to bear. I don't want to be aggressive or vindictive, and make whatever weird version of reality she has true. Now for the first update. The amount of advice and support I've gotten from you all is mind-blowing. To anyone that contributed, I truly mean this, thank you. It's been a day since I posted. I implemented the gray rock method immediately following this post, and it is working. It's driving her crazy and in return keeping me grounded. This post has saved my sanity, thank you all so much. Second update. Been 3 weeks since my original post, so I figured I'd post an update. Long story short, my wife had an affair and was really making me feel horrible about myself. Turning her friends against me like I'm a monster, and genuinely just being a really, uncharacteristically awful human being. If you're going through the divorce process, or your spouse cheated on you and is making you feel bad about it, I feel like I have some solid stuff to share. My soon-to-be ex and I are well on our way through the divorce process now. I didn't kick the can too much on the divorce, didn't second-guess myself, kept the course, and because of that I'm almost free. My soon-to-be ex has done and said some extremely crazy, illogical, and hurtful things along the way. At this point, every word she says further seals this divorce and solidifies my decision. I've been told I made her cheat. I've been told I mistreated her, which I definitely did not. I've been gaslighted on multiple occasions during our settlement that the morally right thing to do is size. And the list goes on. Sometimes I wonder if she's even living on planet Earth with how she's thinking about things. This divorce has opened my eyes quite a bit, and I'm realizing I was a little bit of a sucker. I love with my whole heart, and because of that, I've allowed her to manipulate my emotions along the way, question myself, etc. I fell into an empathy trap, and what I mean by that is I empathized with her even when the things she thought or said made no sense. I unintentionally fueled completely irrational thoughts. The script has been flipped entirely. She doesn't even know how to interact with me when she can no longer manipulate me. Thank you to all of your wonderful people who recommended Grey Rock, and because of that, the only thing she can do is get mad, explode, and so on. Essentially, go into an unprovoked rage. If I snapped one day and called her every name in the book, it would be the equivalent of resuscitating her. It would give her relief, not make her feel worse, which is twisted in every way, but I know it's the truth. Anyways, I haven't given her an inch. Not a single inch. I'm not mean, I'm not aggressive, I'm not vindictive, I'm none of those things, and never have been. I'm confident, I'm grounded, and I'm thinking rationally and logically. Not letting my heart take the wheel, not slipping up or losing my cool, and certainly not letting her manipulate me any further. She's still in her cheater's fog, she still feels justified for her decisions. I have not, and doubt I ever will receive an apology. Not from her anyhow. Her family has apologized profusely, which is appreciated, but doesn't necessarily cover up the hurt I experienced. I will admit in this moment, the hurt I see in her family far outweighs the hurt I feel for losing my wife. They're good people, it is unfortunate the apple fell far from the tree. In a few short weeks I'm a free man. Not sure when the fog will be lifted for her, but I do have sympathy for her to a capacity. There will be a day she wakes up. A day where reality and real life catches up with her. Don't know if that's a few months, a year, or half a lifetime, but it will come. There will be a day she is sitting in her apartment or home, alone, and the burning fling she had will begin to die out. I empathize with her, because the pain she will feel in that moment will be exactly what I felt. Absolutely crushed. Physically sick to my stomach, and an emotional mess. Truly, I was a phenomenal husband. It is now, and always has been my personality to be a chipper smiling face for her, jovial, and a rock-solid shoulder to lean on. Reliable, loyal, and loving would all be understatements, and she will grow to recognize that she hit the lotto on her first go-round, and nuked the marriage to pieces with what she'll one day recall as the biggest mistake of her life. A fling, an exciting affair, etc. cannot and never will be able to replace a lifetime partner who understands and willingly accepts genuine commitment. She will one day learn and understand that. I've put in my time, I've experienced the hurt, I've reflected on myself, our marriage, and what led us to this point. I sought professional counsel to make sure I was giving myself the opportunity to decompress my thoughts and emotions. I've read literature. I've critically analyzed myself and my behavior to try and pinpoint exactly what it was that led her to do what she did. Fact is, nothing I did led her to cheat. Nothing. I wasn't perfect, nobody is, but I loved her, I would work and make sacrifices for her, and the fact of the matter is that wasn't a two-way street. The lies, the manipulation, all of the wild things she says she truly may believe, but they're not coming from a place of rationality. She gave up on a marriage that I was putting 100% effort into, and had an affair on someone that would have gone to the moon and back for her. It destroyed my confidence, not going to lie, but in these moments of absolute emotional agony and adversity, it will make me a better man on the other side. Guys, seriously. If you're unhappy in a marriage, communicate. Do not cheat. And if you do cheat, own it. Look internally, don't further hurt those people around you and blame them. Hundreds of hours of ruminating, thinking about myself, blaming myself, etc., all could have been prevented by a simple phrase from my soon-to-be ex. Hey, I'm sorry, I messed up. I don't know if anyone here needs to hear this, but if you're currently playing the blame game, down on your dauber, feeling like you took a hit to your confidence and so on, stop. Reflecting on yourself is powerful, and I think critique is good to a capacity, but you don't drive someone to an affair. You cannot accept blame for another individual's character flaw, period. If things are messed up, you've tried counseling, gone down every avenue to correct things, etc., a divorce is the appropriate next step, not a secret affair. I'll leave you with this. My soon-to-be ex looked me directly in the eyes and said with 100% confidence, I'm not the type of person to have an affair. That's not who I am. You led me to that point. If you've ever heard that phrase before or hear it in the future, package it up in a pretty box, make sure it's nice and sealed, and shove it right where the sun doesn't shine. That doesn't even make sense. I'd love to rob a bank and tell the officers I'm not the type of person to rob a bank, and the government made me do it, but I'm a rational adult, and that's now how it works. Thanks for reading and allowing me to share my thoughts, and thank you for all of the advice on my original post. This sub has been monumental in my sanity for the past 3 weeks. Save yourself. Get out of there, fast. You got that right. I'm on the fast track out of this one. I've come to realize that I'm sadder that I'm about to be a divorced man than the woman I am losing in the divorce. It's not my character to throw in the towel, but not wanting to be a quitter is not a valid reason to stay with someone who has already quit on you. It was good to read your story. I'm sorry you've gone through this. I was really able to relate. My ex cheated many times, and apparently I drove him to it. It's laughable, I know. I can laugh now. More than your main post, this comment resonates. I was ashamed to leave, picturing comments about another failed relationship. I wanted traditional, just one long-term monogamous relationship. If you ever need to chat to someone who's been through it, it's okay to message me. I'm not the type of person to have an affair. That's not who I am. You led me to that point. Well, I just wrote, deleted, and repeat for a few minutes, in awe of the cognitive dissonance. Believe me when I tell you, there is no frame of mind I could possibly put myself in to understand how one could not only say that statement, but believe it. This is going to sound overly sarcastic, but I'm genuinely not kidding. I could have a more rational discussion with a 7-year-old child than an adult that makes that statement and believes it. I heard something really cool today, the narcissist's prayer. Ever heard of that? That didn't happen. If it did, it wasn't that bad. If it was, it wasn't a big deal. And if it is, that's not my fault. And if it was, I didn't meant it. And if I did, then you deserved it. Haha, I can say with 100% confidence I have not heard that before, but let me tell you, that sums it up pretty well. I genuinely never recognized narcissistic tendencies in her behavior prior to this. Not sure if it's because I brought out the best in her and those tendencies are just now surfacing, or if I overlooked them, but they're certainly front and center now. I love goofy sayings like this, so thanks for sharing. Last story. I found my girlfriend in bed with her ex last night. I'm broken. I, 28 male, found my girlfriend, 25 female, in bed with her ex last night. I'm broken. I'm not sure if I'm looking for advice or just ranting. I work 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. on work days. She works nights till midnight. She recently wrecked her car, so she has been getting rides. I told her to call me if she ever needed one. Hers is the only number that will ring on my phone at night. Anyway, last night she gets off at midnight and tells me some girl named Amanda is taking her home. I wake up at 1 a.m. and see these texts. I say alright and wish her a good night. She does the same. After that, I woke up and I could not sleep. I stayed awake to 3 a.m. with just some general insomnia. So I call out of work and decide to drive to her and surprise her with cuddles and snacks. I get there and her ex-boyfriend's truck is there. And they are in bed together. She came to the door, and I said goodbye and left. Guys, I had closed my heart off for 12 years since I was 16. My high school sweetheart broke my heart, and I just pushed every potential girlfriend away after that. 12 years later, this happens after I opened to her. She made me so happy it was almost weird. I am absolutely crushed. She said she just needed a ride and he was sleepy and whatnot, but I know better. My heart physically hurts. I can't eat, can't sleep, can't stop puking. I'm broken. Just please anyone help or tell me what to do to make it stop. Now for the advice. I'm just really sorry that this happened to you. Thank you. I just am not sure what life is gonna have for me after this. I feel like I'll never recover and there'd be no point in trying. I tried to stay strong in front of her, but I am literally shattered. You will recover, we all do. I was married when it happened to me, not an ex of hers but a future ex of hers. It will get better, it's just another speed bump life throws at us. You deserve better than that worthless woman. You really do. You will feel that way too once you heal a bit. Let her suffer with her poor choices, and know she and her ex will fail again. And she'll move on to ruin someone else's life. Just be prepared for the BS she will try and pull on you. Just be strong and don't fall for it. She went right to gaslighting you right out of the gate. Not a good sign at all. She isn't a safe partner for you, or anyone else for that matter. You will, however, find someone that is sooner or later. You called off work to surprise her with cuddles and snacks in the middle of the night. Oh my god, you're so precious. If my boyfriend was thoughtful and cute like that, I'd never even think of my ex again. Her loss. Yeah, she had said earlier she had a migraine and a rough day and missed me. I have been trying to show her I love her and am ready to open up and work towards a forever life. Now I really just don't want to be here. Don't say that just because she didn't appreciate you. Take this time to work on loving yourself. You have much to offer. Really sorry that happened to you. Not all people are cringe like that. Don't close your heart. Know that something better is down the road, and this was just the universe way of not allowing you to waste time here with this particular person. Never feels like it in the moment, but heartbreak fades. You're still really young and will have many opportunities. In my opinion, doors closing so obviously is a blessing. Imagine how long this could have gone on behind your back before they decided to give it another go, and then you get kicked to the curb with no explanation, wondering if it was something you did. Hard to believe, but you're so much better off. I agree with everything you say. I know it should fade, and it was good I saw this early, but like damn, this thing hurts.